Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and somebody on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm January up, and let's go. But his wandering eyes don't do him any favors. Maybe we should save the rest of it for when... Maybe we should save the rest of it for when we're in private later. And I think we got a few watchful eyes trying to sneak a peek. Selwyn tries to act offended, but it isn't long before the two of them are giggling together, and even less time before I'm joining them as well. This is nice. After yesterday, I was seriously worried the two of us would be a mess, and maybe we will be. But when we're alone, but as it stands, it's only a little bit awkward. How you doing, man? You seem a little, jumpy. I'm fine, I swear. Just a bit of nerves. I had another nightmare. Another one? It wasn't that bad, I swear. Just really strange. My phone suddenly rings, nearly causing me to bounce right off the bed. If it wasn't for Oscar steadying me, I probably would have made a fool out of myself. Selwyn looks apologetic, and it quickly becomes apparent why. The alert's a simple text message from him asking what it was about. What was it about? Okay. It's okay. It wasn't your fault. The dream was strange. I was in this fancy hotel, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. Everything was so dusty and old. But I couldn't keep my balance, and there was this strange metal door. It had a giant valve that probably opened it. My phone pings with another message from Selwyn. He looks pretty proud of himself. Maybe it was a cruise? Cruise? You think? I've never been on one, but the door sounds like one of those watertight ones you see on ships. Oh yeah, that makes sense. What do you think, Oscar? But Oscar didn't reply. He just stared off at nothing with that blank expression that I've only seen a few times. Selwyn notices it too and meets my eyes with just as much confusion as I felt. Oscar, are you okay? He still didn't respond. So nearly place a hand on his shoulder before remembering that probably wasn't the best idea. He still doesn't seem to be comfortable with physical affection. I opt to squeeze his hand instead, and that does it. He snaps out of it and tries to play it off with his usual large smile, but that isn't able to quell the clump in my chest. Someone doesn't look particularly convinced either. Sorry, just zoned out a bit there. What was the question? We were asking if you thought it was a cruise, too. Oh, your nightmare? Yeah, probably. Sounds like it anyway. Fancy like and losing your balance? Sounds like a cruise ship to me. What else happened? It's strange. I wasn't in control of my body. Kind of like a lucid dream, except I was just watching myself do it normally. I walked in front of the door, and I almost considered telling them about what I might have saw through the window, but I don't even know how to put it into words. A bluish glow? Doesn't sound very helpful. Maybe it's best not to overcomplicate things. Suddenly, water flooded the hallway, and I woke up before it got to me. It was creepy. Sounds like you're having a nightmare about what happened before. I told you, man. It was just some kind of messed up hallucination we were having. You really think that? It was just some random coincidence? I mean, I've seen the guys hit some stuff there. It can be pretty intense. I haven't tried any, I swear. I wouldn't go near the stuff. Ain't that hardcore. Really sure it's that? Yeah, maybe. Maybe Grumpy was right. It's some kind of mass hysteria or something. I just don't think it's that important. It's just a dream, after all. Oscar reaches an arm around me before hesitating once more, but instead of pulling away, he ends up just placing a hand on my back. It's a significantly toned-down display of affection, but it's still comforting. Just don't stress about it, man. It ain't that serious. Just a bad dream. Even the one you just had. Just sounds like you're stressing yourself out. To show his own level of support, Selwyn reaches over and places a hand on my knee. Despite not being too in the loop, he's still going out of his way to show his support. It's hard not to smile. If you're certain, I'm still not too sure, but I'll try not to stress about it. That's all we can ask for, man. Come on, let's get out of here. It's real stuffy in here. Selwyn and Oscar bounce off the bed with such vigor I'm nearly thrown off in the process. Thankfully, both of them catch me, though we knock over Selwyn in the process, but it had us all laughing. Sorry, I don't mean to kind of run my words into each other. I just had a homemade spaghetti dinner, and I'm just on pasta high right now. After we're all firmly planted on the ground, Oscar and Selwyn start chatting while they head to the door, but I hesitate before following them. I look back at the nightstand where the diary had ended up again. I considered leaving it behind and just doing what Oscar said, to just forget about it for now. Except something is nagging in the back of my head that we might need it. Despite myself, I still decide to take it with me. Oscar raises an eyebrow where he sees it, but I just give him a sheepish smile, hoping he doesn't call me out on it. He just shrugs and opens the door for all of us. We ended up walking to campus early. We still had 30 minutes before we had to meet up with everyone, but decided to just walk around and talk. There wasn't anything specific being mentioned, it's mostly just relaxing conversation. I got to learn a bit more about Selwyn, which was great. He mentioned how all of his friends in high school came here as well, which is amazing. I didn't really have any friends in high school, so to see someone coming to college with their friends sounds awesome. I couldn't help but feel a little jealous. And they're all pretty cool, trust me. Yeah, well, the one I met was anyway, but I assume the rest of them are anyway. Selwyn's a good judge of character. Wait, that reminds me actually, Selwyn, I met someone who knows you, I think. He looks confused, but makes no motion to whisper in Oscar's ear or to pull out his phone, so I take that as my cue to carry on. When Oscar and I met Nathan for the first time, some of the rest of the team was there too. Weasel came and talked to us. He said he knew you. A wave of recognition flows over his face, but doesn't shake the uncertainty from his face. In fact, he looks more nervous than he did before. Hey, man, you okay? You're looking a little shaky there. But Selwyn just nods and reaches into his pocket, except he doesn't pull anything out. He just stares at me instead. What's the matter? But he just walks up to me without giving a hint of what he's doing. It's not until he comes around to my side and leans up to my ear that I realize what he's doing. He's trying to whisper in my ear, just like he does with Oscar, who also looks to have realized what's going on. 1 second, y'all. Drinking water. Alright, strawberry water is done. Okay. Both of us wait with bated breath to see what happens, but all I can hear is light breathing in my ear. Selwyn pulls away for a moment, but he looks frustrated. Without giving us even a second to process anything, he's right back up against my ear. But there still isn't any sound. Except I do hear something. It's little croaks and mutters, nothing comprehensible. After a few more seconds of this, he pulls away, but he just looks defeated now. He quickly tries to cover it up with a smile, but it's obvious that he was frustrated. Hey, man, don't sweat about it. Yeah, it's okay. There's no rush. I already heard you once on the phone. That was amazing. Whoa, really? I've never seen you warm up to someone that quick. That's crazy, man. Is that true? Selwyn nods. It looks like that cheered him up. Or at least he looks better than he did a second ago, but I don't know if he's just putting on a show for us. With Oscar doing everything in his power to hide any negativity, I've gotten a lot more paranoid about people hiding and how they're feeling. What were you going to say about the weasel? He smacks his forehead before pulling out his phone, trying to play it off cool, though the giggles that sneak out of me isn't helping. That's probably Wilf. We went to high school together, but he's a couple years older than me. I don't know if I'd call us friends, but we're friendly. His face scrunches up, and I watch him type out a few messages before erasing them. From what I've seen, he's usually so quick and efficient, but he's clearly trying to figure out how to word what he wants to say. After a few more attempts, he finally sends it, though from his creased brows, it doesn't look like he's particularly confident. Wolf is a little weird. He's not really a bad guy, but he likes to tease people and knows how to get under their skin. He's a lot smarter than he looks. So he was just messing with me last time? Probably. It's a little hard to be sure, but I don't think he'd do anything too bad. He was on the football team that Conrad was on. He was teasing Nathan a lot. He scolded me for hanging around Oscar and said he knew my type and... Oh, right. He mentioned I reminded him of someone and to ask you about that. He's probably talking about Baxter. Oh, Baxter, huh? He's one of my friends I mentioned earlier. You reminded him of him a lot. It's part of why I feel so comfortable around you. Well, you told me it was because he's really cute. That's just a bonus. Baxter's pretty cute in the same way. Maybe you'll get to meet him one day. He's the one I met. I can see the similarities. Too bad none of your other friends want to see me. They're just private. You probably saw one of them on the football field. There's a huge rat named Rex. He hangs out there too, but don't go looking for him. He's a little grumpy right now. Sounds like someone we know. That sounds like you have a lot of friends. He positively beams at that, decides to whisper into Oscar's ear this time instead of typing it. I guess he must be too excited to wait. He said that he loves making friends where he can. It's just a little hard sometimes. He's being a little unfair, though. He might be a little uncomfortable at first, but he's got a silver tongue, I tell you. Well, I'm glad that we're friends. Oh! I'm not able to finish my sentence before Selwyn nearly tackles me to the ground in a hug, but that wasn't what surprised me the most. What does catch me off guard is Oscar, who wraps an arm around the two of us. I look up at him in concern, but he just keeps smiling like he always does. Are you okay? It's not too bad like this. When it's between the three of us, it just feels like a friendly moment. That makes sense. Just don't push yourself. I won't. You're starting to sound like my coach. That reminds me, I totally forgot all the commotion that he needed to talk to me, and if I had to guess, it's probably about Oscar. I should probably go meet up with him as soon as I can. It doesn't take too long before the hug is dispersed, but I still feel like all the oxygen was shoved out of my lungs. Selwyn's strong enough as it is, but Oscar's on a whole different level. Hey, does your coach hang around campus on Sundays? Nah, the only times we ever see him on Sunday is if we have an event that's too close to the start of the new year for those. But you want to go swimming? We could definitely sneak in without getting caught this time. Maybe later? I'm not sure if I want to go swimming that soon already. Plus, we have to meet everyone soon, right? Right, totally forgot about that. We should probably head over there soon. You coming, man? We both look over at Selwyn, who's flipping through his phone, likely trying to check something, but he ends up shaking his head with a disappointed frown. I know that look. One of your friends having a bad day? Selwyn just nods before shoving his phone into his pocket, surprising me with another quick hug before he runs off, leaving me stunned with a smile on my face. Whoa, man, if I didn't know any better, I'd have thought you'd never had a guy hug you before. Well, before you two? I didn't really. The only people that ever hugged me were my parents, and they weren't around too much. Even my brother wasn't too physically affectionate. Shit, sorry, man, I didn't mean to bring him up. It's okay, honestly. It hasn't been hurting as bad as it used to be. Honestly, with our talk last night, it felt better to talk about that. I waited for any reply, but it doesn't look like he's going to carry on from that comment, so I decided we better move on rather than make things awkward. Without Selwyn there to guide us, things might get awkward between us again. I can already see him putting a little more distance between us, even if it was just a small step back. He really is scared to touch me. But I have to keep reminding myself it's because he cares a lot. He has feelings for me somehow. You look a little lost there. Oh, sorry, just got a little lost in thought. Yeah, me too. So you went over to the bar? The others should be there soon, if they ain't already. Yeah, they're probably the type to show up early, too. Alright, I'm going to pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!